Hey everybody, I'm Becky Adams. Thank you for stopping by my YouTube channel today. Today I have a process video of a 12 by 12 layout using the Summer Lovin' collection from Simple Stories. As always, I will have all the products that I am using in this video linked in the description box below. I appreciate your support of my channel. So the first thing I did is go through the pattern papers and decide which ones I wanted to use on this layout. And I immediately fell in love with this striped paper. It's got the big bold stripes on the bottom and then just white on the top. And I thought it would be fun to see what I could come up with this paper. So I trimmed an inch off so that I had a little bit of a margin on both sides of the layout. And then I'm just adhering that pattern paper to a piece of red Color Vibes cardstock. And then I have another piece of Color Vibes cardstock that I believe is the robin's egg color that I had a scrap of it from another project, and so I just used that to mount my photos. I have two 3x4 photos that I am using to tell this story, and I just wanted them to have a little pop of color behind them. I have the white border, which I love and I use on pretty much every layout that I create. I love the white border. I think it just helps the photos to stand out a little bit. So now that I have my photos on that photo mat, I want to make sure that I have room for my title and my journaling before I adhere everything down. So the title for this layout is Fun Summer Shenanigans. And the word shenanigans, I had just a tiny scrap of white cardstock, and I put the words or the letter stickers that I got from the Summer Vibes sticker book, and put the letter stickers just on that scrap of white cardstock. And I did that so that I could move them around the layout to decide placement before I adhered them down. So I took two tags from the tag cut apart paper in the Summer Lovin' collection, and I just adhered those, and so they're just peeking out on the left side of the photo. And that's just I've got a lot of color, a lot of things that I want to put on the right side, and I just needed to balance that out with a little pop of color and some texture on the left side of the photo as well. So I'm adhering pop dots to the top of the back of the tags, and that's just to give them a little bit of dimension and just kind of a fun way to adhere the tags. So I'm just taking a piece of white crochet thread and looping those through the tags, and then here in just a second I will tie a bow on each of those. I don't know about you, but sometimes it takes me forever to tie bows, and you'll see me kind of fuss with this here for just a minute. But I wanted to tell you a little bit about the Summer Lovin' collection. This is just a classic summer collection, like kind of like a plane in the backyard, just like those quiet summer afternoon evenings around the house, around the yard. And it's just got beautiful, bold, classic colors. If you're looking for a summer collection, this is definitely a must-have. So now that I have those bows tied, I don't know why it takes me so long sometimes, but I am going to adhere the tags and my photos using a tape runner from scrapbook.com. I've been using that tape runner for a couple of months now, and I love their adhesives. So they're always linked in the description box as well. But if you're looking for a good strong adhesive that's easy to use and easy to access, that might be a good solution for you. So I wanted to create a little bit of a scene kind of behind my title and above the photos, I guess. And so I'm using this large die cut that came from the page pieces of the Summer Lovin' collection. And I adhered that using regular adhesive as well as pop dots. And then the fun and summer are foam stickers from the foam sticker sheet from the Summer Lovin' collection. And then that little sun is a piece of chipboard. I always used liquid adhesive on any of my chipboard just to make sure that they stay in place. So now I'm ready to adhere that the word Shenanigans on my scrap of white cardstock, and I just have to add a little bit of adhesive and adhere that in place. So I kind of fuss with the title here a little bit. I was undecided on whether I should center the word Shenanigans under the word summer or under the word fun, and it kind of looked off both of the ways that I did it. And so I tried clear over by the on either side of the words, and it just didn't look how I wanted it to. So I finally decided to just not overthink it and get my title in place. How's that? So I'm doing something different with my journaling strips today that I think is so cute, and I wish you could see it in real life. I hope that you can see it a little bit in the still shots, but it's hard to see. Instead of putting just regular adhesive, like double-sided tape, on the back of my journaling strips, I added foam adhesive strips. So my journaling strips kind of pop off the page a little bit, and it just gives it a really fun texture, something a little different. So I print my journaling at home just on a regular printer, and then just cut them into strips and adhere them to the layout. And adding the foam strips was a fun technique and one that I will be using often. So it's really easy to adhere these journaling strips on this page because it's so easy to line them up with the stripes on the back. I love pattern papers that kind of help you out in getting things centered and straight. And this is definitely one of those cases where it was easy to get things straight. So at the very bottom of my journaling, I print the date, and sometimes I use it and sometimes I don't. I end up using a date stamp, but that's always at the bottom of my journaling, just in case I need it. So I wanted to add a couple of more embellishments. I added chipboard flowers to the right of the word fun to kind of balance out the tree and the sunshine a little bit. And then there's this really cute flower die cut that I put in the lower left corner of the photos. And then of course I've got to have a few enamel dots. And this time I just added a little bit of texture with my enamel dots. I love the tone-on-tone look, so they don't stand out a lot, but they still add that little bit of texture and shine. And if you've watched my videos before, you know that I really like to finish off the tops of tags with the adhesive brads. Even if there's a bow and string in the tags, I think it's just a really cute way to finish them off and give them a little bit of shine. And I love that pop of metal around each of those adhesive brads. And can I just say, I love adhesive brads. I love that there are no more prongs, because I don't know about you, but I was not a fan of the prongs on brads back in the day. So I have a label sticker that I want to add my date to, and I had kind of hard time figuring out where I wanted that to go, but ultimately it lands there in the bottom corner of the photo. So I'm just looking through the die cuts. I wanted to add some sprinkling of color on the top portion of the layout. And I kind of thought about adding enamel dots, but I wanted something a little more substantial, I guess. And so while I was looking for something else, I found that die cut that I think it says these are the days. And I thought about putting it there above the photo, but it added too much text to the top of the top half of the layout. So ultimately, these little hearts are what completes the layout. And I just add a tiny bit of liquid glue. I'd already added quite a bit of dimension. Typically, I would add those with pop dots, but in this case, I really like to have them just flat against the background and not add more dimension. So I go back to the enamel dots because I wanted to balance out. I have a lot of enamel dots on the top part of the layout, but none on the bottom. And I wanted to mimic that texture there at the bottom. And I fiddled with these orange enamel dots for way too long trying to figure out the placement. I was very, very much overthinking the whole issue. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you ever have that issue or if it's just me that overthinks the tiniest of things, and really tiny things, because we're talking about enamel dots. So with that, I believe this layout is finished. Let me see. I'm still messing with those enamel dots. I need to just leave them alone because honestly, I don't think that the placement of those 3 enamel dots is that important. But I did play with them for a little bit. And then just to make sure that I have everything how I want it, I always look through the sticker book when I'm finishing things up just to make sure that that it's finished. And I decide not to put anything else on it, and that is it with this one. So thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to spend with me. Make sure and hit that subscribe button so that you know when I upload a new video. So thank you again for stopping by, and I'll see you again soon.